Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and talk about this story. And before I do, I want to say lately I haven't been really feeling well. So that's why I haven't really been putting out videos every day. And you guys haven't really seen me doing live streams. I've just been really tired and feeling like really under the weather. So, but I wanted to come on here. And then tonight, since I'm feeling a little bit better, tonight me and Mary and Cerulean will be doing a video. We're going to be doing the live stream that we were supposed to do with Robert Perkins, and he's not available. Something came up, so now he's not able to do it. So Cerulean is going to be taking his place. It's going to be tonight at 8. We're going to be discussing, Black women allies and who is qualified to critique Black women. And so that will be a good productive discussion. So hopefully you guys will tune in. Again, it's at 8 o'clock tonight, and I will be scheduling it probably around 6, so you will be seeing a notification for it. If you don't see the notification, just feel free to come to the channel at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and that's what time we'll be discussing it tonight. But I wanted to get to this article, and this is another one of those tragic, swirling situations where I've talked about many times on my channel, and of course, most of them are going to involve Black men because Black men are primarily the ones in the Black community who swirl. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that these situations generally they only end in either death, bankruptcy, prison. They have the highest divorce rate. Really, there's no logical reason why Black men and white women should be interacting with each other, and yet they are the biggest interracial daters. I know a lot of people say that, Asians are white men and Asian women, but like I said, Asian isn't a race, and white men are by and large only going after white Asian females. You don't see them going after the African descent Asians, like Sri Lanka and Southeast Asians and Hindu Indians and things like that. And rarely do you see them with the Black Filipinos or dark-skinned Cambodians. They mostly only date Chinese and Japanese and Koreans, the more whiter Asians. So to me, that's really not interracial dating. And if you look at what interracial dating is considered, interracial dating is actually only considered to be between Black people and white people. What I've been basically saying is and it's proven over and over every time I get an article like this, it's proven that, sorry guys, I keep taking breath because my asthma is really bothering me, but it's because these situations don't turn out well. They never do. And yet a lot of the men in our community have deluded themselves to thinking that they do. I just did videos on Van Jones and Randy Jackson and Lonzo Ball, all getting extorted monetarily by their white babies' moms and now soon to be ex-wives, and divorces and threats of book deals and things like that. So it's interesting that these situations never turn out well. Yet, I think I was on a panel a little while ago, and there was a dude in the comment section talking about, well, asking why it is that Black men have better experiences with white women than Black women, and that's just not the case. That's really not the case. You can look at their high failure rate. You can look at all the cases that are similar to this, in which there's a Black man either acting out very violently. This is the couple in question. Of course, neither one of them is attractive, but at the end of the day, this is the portrait of toxic people where clearly you can just tell that they're not supposed to be anywhere near each other. You can tell that it's unnatural. And usually things that should not be happening are generally the ones that have natural consequences applied to them. The ones to where there's just so much to say, but I want to play this news clip really quickly, and then I'm going to come back and we'll get into the actual story and then some additional commentary.
Man with a history of domestic abuse is behind bars. He's charged with second-degree murder after police say that he killed his girlfriend and then the mother of his children. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Greg Coy. Daryl and Merle are both off tonight. This crime happened last night off of Carnes, and the suspect is in custody tonight. Fox 13 Scott Mattis talked with neighbors who saw it happen before calling 911. Good evening, Scott.
Well, that suspect is here at the Criminal Justice Center, and he will be here for an undetermined amount of time, as there is no bond set right now. Folks, I've got to be honest with you. This is a brutal and terrifying story. I have discovered the name of the victim, but I have since discovered through the Memphis Police Department that all of next of kin have not been notified, so I have decided not to mention the name whatsoever. But tonight, the bottom line to this big story, while this victim is now dead, her life taken from her, the suspect is locked up behind bars.
I witnessed a murder.
The homicide witnesses saw in front of their very own eyes Sunday night happened here in the 3200 block of Carnes in front of the victim's home.
It's pretty overwhelming.
Witnesses tell me shortly after 9 they heard what turned out to be the deadly confrontation between the victim and her boyfriend, who is her baby's father, 34-year-old Santrez Trailer. At the same time, they saw the suspect using a brick to hit the female victim in the head.
She was standing when he first hit her, and then she fell down, and he repeatedly was hitting her with a brick. Hitting her with a brick, kicking her, punching her. He was trying to make sure she was dead.
Moments later, witnesses tell me the suspect, identified as Trailer, went into the home and got the keys to a car, continuing the brutal attack.
He was backing up the car and running over her. Backing up the car and running over her. He did I witnessed about 4 times.
We just saw him bashing into the porch, bashing into the house.
And I discovered Trailer was charged with criminal trespass and domestic assault almost a month ago, when, according to an affidavit of complaint, he came to the victim's home threatening to hurt their children. The document also details several other incidents of domestic violence between the two.
Unfortunately, the worst case scenario happened.
And that worst case scenario was also caught on videotape by a neighbor, and that videotape is being reviewed by Memphis police. Now, again, the suspect, Trailer, is in police custody. He's being charged with second-degree murder. We'll keep you posted on his status as this legal process continues. Live downtown at the Criminal Justice Center, Scott Mattis, Fox 13 News.
Now, you guys saw that news clip, and I do, if it's a little low, I put the link in the description box so you can watch it. That the volume was turned all the way up. The news clip may have just been very, very low, but hopefully it's not too low. Now, the thing of it is if you go by the news reports and the details that you gave, that they gave, you can tell they're probably going to end up charging him with first-degree murder after they review the video recording, and based on the fact that he has a repeated history of domestic violence, okay? Now, I don't know what they argued about. Hopefully some of the details are in here, but what I will say is that, there's something wrong with a lot of black men out here. There really is. It's like a lot of them act like they can't handle responsibility. They can't handle conflict. They're getting extremely violent. They get very irrational where, their actions don't make sense. And I know that this is not all black men. I would never say that it is. Of course, all black men are not even the majority of black men are acting like this, but there are a lot of them who are acting like this. And it's not just towards white women, because there was another story that came out where a 17-year-old black girl, black teen, she was in a relationship with the dude, a black man who lied about his age. He ended up being 28. They had a history of fighting because, again, in the black community, the domestic violence is bi-directional, meaning that you just have black men and black women and getting into fights. But ultimately, domestic violence, if they don't break up or end the relationship, somebody almost always ends up dead. And that's just usually what it is. But in the situation with a lot of black men with these white women, they're trying to escape responsibility. They're trying to escape expectations that they're not willing to meet because they don't know how to be men. So when they get in relationships with white women, and if the white women even attempt to give them those same expectations, then they lash out in anger, because the reality of it is black men, by and large, are not able to be men the way other men are. They don't even know the concept of what it is to be a man. And we already understand that that's orchestrated. We already know that that was a trap. We already know that's by design, but it doesn't change or negate the fact that they're not doing anything about it. So it says a Memphis man with a history of domestic violence has been charged with murder, and police say he attacked his girlfriend with a brick and then repeatedly ran over her with his car. Now, I'm almost guaranteeing that they're going to up his charges to first-degree murder, and this man will never see, he will never see himself outside of prison. He's just not going to. Because while you may be able to kill a black woman or beat a black woman, this is a white woman, and it doesn't matter how many black men she lays up with, she's still afforded the protection of white men, because white men are trying to send a very clear message, and they're trying to show that it doesn't matter what the white woman is doing, he will still unite with her against black men. This is something that black men, unfortunately, to their detriment, has not learned yet. It says, according to the Memphis Police Department, on Sunday night, officers responded to a home in the 3200 block of Carnes Avenue, where they found the lifeless body of 31-year-old Amanda Petrowski. Petrowski's longtime boyfriend and the father of her two children, 34-year-old Santrez Taylor, initially fled the scene, but was later arrested and charged with second-degree murder and aggravated assault. Now, notice how we said that with black men, whenever they date interracial, they date down, okay? So they don't really go for attractive white women at all. They're notoriously known for dating the most unattractive white women, most of them that white men wouldn't even want. And they're either morbidly obese and ugly, or they're skinny and they ugly, they look like her or worse, because she's not attractive. And again, this is just who they are. It's a reflection of themselves. But as you can see, this was the scene of a crime. This is blood spatter. So again, this is just how they do. I'm not understanding why this, hold on for a second. But it says neighbors in the Orange Mound section of Memphis said they witnessed the deadly domestic dispute unfold before their eyes. One eyewitness said Taylor repeatedly struck Petrowski with a brick in front of their home. When the woman collapsed to the ground, he allegedly proceeded to kick and punch her. Moments later, according to witness accounts, Taylor entered the home to get the keys to the car parked in the driveway, got behind the wheel, and ran over Petrowski's body about 4 times, according to Fox 13 Memphis, okay? Now, this is obviously the car. Again, this is him in a relationship with her. They have kids. Again, the requirement just isn't that she's attractive, okay? We saw a car driving back and forth across the lawn, and we didn't know what was happening from where we could see, Petrowski's neighbor, Jay Smoot said. But it turned out we were witnessing the murder occurring. According to the police affidavit cited by the station WREG, Taylor was charged with criminal trespassing and domestic assault a month ago after he showed up at his girlfriend's residence threatening to beat her brains in and to put one of their children through the wall. The document also states that Taylor one day called Petrowski 200 times. His criminal record also includes counts of domestic assault causing bodily harm, stemming from 2 separate incidents that took place in May and June of 2015. Taylor remained in the Shelby County Jail on Tuesday. Now, the thing of it is that you can just tell by a lot of these dudes, and like I said, when these dudes get to a point to where they're swirling, that's simply a manifestation of their diminished psyche. There has to be something already detrimentally wrong with him, and as you see, based on what unfolded in the relationship, that's 100% true. He had something detrimentally wrong with him. They call these people narcissistic personalities, where they throw these violent tantrums. They end up stalking. They end up doing all these things as a result of simply not getting what they want. You can tell that he didn't care about her. He didn't care about the children, because if he's threatening to put the children through the wall and beat her brains in, which, understand, I couldn't care less about her regardless, because she's in the situation. She chose this man. She continued to be with him. He's been violent several times, and she still overlooked it and chose to be with him. So the reality of it is this is just what's going on, and this is just the reality of how these dudes end up acting. But you guys let me know. Now you will have some kids that are supposed to be black. They're going to be in some kind of foster care or in the system, because now they have a coon dad and now a dead mom. And the coon dad is I don't know if Tennessee does the death penalty, but if it's possible, you can best believe they're going to do it, because he doesn't have the option to just go around killing white women like that. So he won't see the light of day again. That's just the reality. But you guys let me know what you think. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next video.